So, welcome back students. We are basically discussing a combination of all the strategies which basically involves transformation based strategies, starting material based strategies and functional group based strategies. In couple of last lectures we talked about how those strategies can be efficiently coupled, efficiently combined to access small molecular target molecules through a proper electrosynthetic disconnection. The same line we will now give you a simple target molecule which will now analyze how this molecule will be accessed. This molecule is having a bicyclic structure, and if you see its functional group pattern, this molecule only having a carboxylic acid group in the left hand side, the target molecule. The starting material I will be giving to you to have a more direct approach. Actually, the starting material was always given to you, you can directly think and it will be more direct approach. If the starting material was not given to you, n number of pathways are possible and then you have to analyze all the pathways, and that often takes longer time. So, for people like you who are beginner in this field, always I will try to provide the starting material. The starting material which was given to you is basically kind of a homoallyl appendage was given. Now, if you try to correlate through a skeletal disconnection, you will basically find that this homoallyl things, if you do a oxidative cleavage, you basically need 1, 2, 3, a CH2, CH2, CHO. So, if you do a ozonolysis kind of thing, you basically can get the aldehyde, then you can do the oxidation. But in reality, in the molecule also you are having a double bond in the ring, So, in those cases you need to find a suitable method which will basically control that this double bond will be only affected without this double bond. Now, if you see this double bond is definitely electronically rich because it is tetrasubstituted, but on the contrary this double bond is highly sterically crowded. This double bond is sterically very much congested or sterically crowded. On the contrary, this double bond is sterically free or sterically less crowded. So, based on this information, we will now say that if we have to touch particular one of this double bond, it is always better to do some reaction which can be controlled by sterically, and say that this osmium tetroxide mediated dihydroxylation is always, you can control the regiochemistry if you use a 1 equivalent of osmium tetroxide. The initial pathway goes through a cyclic osmium ester formation, and this cyclic osmium ester formation will prefer to formed in a sterically less crowded environment. The point is you have to use a 1 equivalent. So, then if you use this thing, the terminal double bond will be only affected, and you will basically get this terminal double bond which will be affected to give you the corresponding diol. Fine. Now, we are almost there. Now, say that we will be doing a Johnson-Lemieux cleavage which we have already explained many times, that will basically give you the corresponding aldehyde whose structure is, we will now draw the structure of this aldehyde which is generated after this Johnson-Lemieux cleavage, CH2, CH2, CHO. Now, what you need to do? You just need to do a Jones oxidation, just oxidize the aldehyde to its corresponding acid. So, target has been achieved. So, what we basically did? We did a regiochemical based oxidation or regioselective oxidation at this terminal olefin. We take the help of steric congestion or sterically crowded environment of this particular olefin. So, use a stoichiometric oxidant, one equivalent only, and then you can put a double bond which you can selectively dihydroxylate, and then you chop it or cleave it to get the aldehyde. Then this aldehyde was oxidized to get the corresponding carboxylic acid. It was very trivial approach. In the next particular problem, which will be tried to assemble something else together, we will say that this is a functional group, starting material as well as protecting group. It is also used a synthetic equivalent. So, all these strategies have been combined. Now, the target molecule which I am drawing now, the structure is it is having a quaternary carbon, it is having a OTBDPS here, and this is having a ethyl group, is having a ethyl group. Structure looks little bit complicated, but that is why we have given the starting material to you. The starting material which I am giving to you is this compound, and we said you have to use this synthetic equivalent. So, this part you have to basically devise that what synthetic equivalents or what particular synthetic equivalent we will be using to access this. Now, try to correlate this starting material with this target. Now, you can find it that only this oxygen will be probably coming from this, if you protect this free hydroxy as its TBDPS ether. So, this part TBDPS, this part, okay, and then you are having this ethyl group. So, this part is this and this part is the ethyl, and now this particular double bond might be this one where you do something else. So, now we will cut the molecule in a retrosynthetically pathway, and you see how to cut the molecule. We say ethyl is there, and then we say if you have a epoxide something like this, okay, and then we say we will be using a synthetic equivalents of this ampolone or this ampolone, which will attack the sterically less crowded epoxide in this way to give you this target molecule. So, now your job is how you can access this ampolone and how you can make this epoxide from the starting material. This part we will be now doing it first. This looks absolutely similar, that if you have this compound with this TBDPS O, you can easily do a MCPA based epoxidation, which is nothing, you just need to do a FGI through this standard protection of this primary alcohol. Now, this ampolone you can basically create by standard technique, and the best way you can create this ampolone, just take the corresponding 1,3-dithiene, which we normally often explore for the corresponding ampolone chemistry. So, this part is the hydrogen which will be abstracted and will generate the ampolone. Now, coming to the forward synthesis. So, you start with the compound which was given to you. So, first protect it with his TBDPS chloride. TBDPS we already explained is a protecting group, imidazole, only one equivalent protection is required because there is only one hydroxy group. So, it will be OTBDPS. You use MCPBA as a epoxidizing agent. So, basically now you will find, you will get this epoxide. We will try to write it in this way. Okay. Now, here we will be using this ampolong, which is basically having this 1,3-dithiene moiety. We basically picked up the hydrogen by a base and put a lithium, means a negative charge. So, this negative charge now attack this epoxide from a sterically less-ended site, and then you will find how this. So, epoxide will be now opened up, and you basically get this TBDPS will be there. You have this OH which has been generated, you have this ethyl. So, this all this quaternary center, quaternary carbon is now generated, and then you are having this CH2 and your ampolong is here, and remaining your isobutyl is here. So, now you just need to do a demasking this protecting group by Hg2 plus, and then you see you basically can access your product very efficiently. So, your TBDPSO and your ethyl group. So, by simple functional group manipulation, you can effectively combine as a functional group based strategies, as well as starting material was given to you, and we used the protecting group as well as synthetic equivalents in the form of 1,3-dithiene to complete the synthesis. It is a very nice demonstration of a combination of couple of different strategies all together. In a similar line, we will be talking about another problem whose structure is this. We said you are having a particular compound of this structure, the starting material was also given to you. Starting material was also given to you. The starting material which was given to you is having a this bicyclic ketone with this CO2 ET here. The stereochemistry was not a issue, but eventually that can be nicely taken care of. We did not have anything. Now, if you see this target and this starting material, only differences probably you can make it out. The starting material in this ring, there is no oxygen. So, the target, you are having a oxygen here. Now, you figure it out, if somehow this CO2 ET can be converted to CH2OH, and that can be put in the ring, and then this CH2 and this CH2 can come here, that will give you the CH2OH. So, now let us do the retro. So, we are now saying that if you having this kind of hydroxy acid, which will can give you the this lactonization thing, also this OH. Okay. Eventually, this there are two different OH, and you need to make sure that only this OH reacts with this lactone, or otherwise you can basically protect one of this OH. Now, here how you can formulate that this compound will try try to generate this. Now we say that we formulate a intermediate which is basically if you have this intermediate, you basically do a ozonolysis, right. So, ozonolysis what will give you? It give you CH2 C double bond to OTMS or a carboxylic acid, and this part is CH2 CHO, which you can reduce to give you the corresponding alcohol as it is here. Now, this CO2 somehow if you can convert it to CH2OH, this may do the ring closing. So, it was basically formulated in this way. Now, let us see how this forward pathway can be figured it out. So, the starting material which was given to you is basically a bicyclic ketone. So, initially what we do, we basically treat a triethylamine to generate the enolate. Now, the enol, there are one acidic hydrogen, this is one acidic hydrogen. So, in principle 2 enol ethers will be basically formed, either this enol where you have this CO2 or you may have this enol formation, sorry, yeah, it is basically double bond is here as a hydrogen, you have this enol. Now, this enol ether we have said we will be trapping it with TMS chloride. So, in principle you should get 2 of the enol ether. Now, I do not know which one will be major, which one will be minor. Now, as our synthetic pathway we need this one. So, just keep it this enol, but remember this enol also is the probable reaction product. Now, this enol if you now do the ozonolysis, you do a ozonolysis, so what you will get? You get a C double bond to TMSO, and you have this CO2 here, and then you have this CH2 CHO. Now, I am saying I am now doing a acidic workup to get rid of this TMS ether, acidic workup just by treating with H plus. In addition, we will be also using a sodium borohydride to reduce this aldehyde. So, what I now will get? We will basically get this hydroxy acid kind of thing. Now, this acid and this alcohol can undergo ring closing, but that will now give you the self-membering lactone, which is not desired by us. So, now what you can do? You can simply protect this hydroxy group first. You can protect the hydroxy group first, that also you can do. Otherwise, let's protect this hydroxy group by say TBS chloride. Just trying to give you a CO2 it is here, so CH2 O TBS, and this is your CH2 CO2H. Now, you need to do a ring formation reaction with this lactone. To make this lactone, you now react with dival. So, dival basically reduce the corresponding ester to is alcohol, and then this is basically your protected thing. Now, if you do not protect and proceed dival here, that also you can do, then it will give you CH2OH, CH2, CH2OH. Then if you can try to lactonize, it will basically have a two possibilities, it can give you 6 member lactone as well as 7 member lactone. So, try to avoid the possibility of the regiochemical issues, we did the protection. Now, this compound is subjected to heat, you can get rid of a water molecule, and basically this is now you will get this TBS group now can be removed by PTSA treatment, para-toluene sulfonic acid, which will now lead you this OH and then your desired lactone. So, the main take home message is you explain a couple of functional group interconversion, and then you couple a strategy of strategic use of a protecting group, and then simple functional group interconversion to correlate the target molecule with the starting material, and then you can basically finally conclude your synthesis. A similar kind of molecule we will discuss now. This molecule, if you see, we have actually talked about this kind of molecules earlier, but still again we will be discussing. The molecule is a alpha beta unsaturated ketone. The starting material was given to you, it is basically 2-methyl alpha tetralone. This is the target, this is the starting material. Now, see the target, this target is basically having a alpha beta unsaturated ketone here, and this correlation is this methyl is there, this methyl is there. So, probably you need to introduce something here, then you use this carbonyl group to close the ring. Okay. So, if you try to do this kind of disconnection, the first thing will come into your mind by using a intramolecular aldol reaction, that is pretty obvious actually. So, if you have something like this structure, yes. So, you generate a carbon ion here, you do a aldol. So, basically is a, I call it as a intramolecular aldol. Okay. Now, try to correlate this with the given starting material, how you can make it. I say this starting material will be now can be easily prepared if you having a this compound just by a FGI, okay, oxidation. Then I said this also can be easily prepared if you have this corresponding aldehyde and you use a Grignard MgCl. Now, this to this I say you can now come to very close of this starting material. I say if you having a compound like this, you can chop it through ozonolysis, and then now it can be simply by a electrophilic alkylation. Okay. So, your synthesis will now start in a forward pathway We will start from this alpha tetralone compound, which is this compound LDA 1 equivalent and allyl bromide. So, we will basically get the all carbon quaternary stereocenter. Now, we say we will cleave it through ozonolysis, this oxidative cleavage, all carbon quaternary center here, and then this terminal olefin will be now chopped to give you this CH2CHO. Now, we will be using a isobutyl magnesium chloride, which will now give it this is a ketone and aldehyde. So, normally aldehydes are much more reactive. So, you can use 1 equivalent of this magnesium chloride, and this ketone is also sterically very much congested. So, normally this will react here and it will give you these things. Now, you can do a PCC based oxidation, to get this ketone this, and now you subject this ketone with a base, normally sodium hydroxide. Make sure this carbon ion is generated, it attacks here. So, 1 2 3 4 5. So, in the aldol fashion it will be undergoing intramolecular aldol dehydration, and the product which will be now getting is having a 5 member ring here, you have a double bond here, this isopropyl group and this carbonyl. So, it is a very straightforward disconnection, but stepwise you are disconnecting it. The transformation what we are using is a LDA and allyl bromide at the very beginning, then you do a oxidative cleavage of this double bond, you use the isobutyl magnesium chloride. Now, you remember that here we basically having a ketone as well as aldehyde. Now, here in principle we should do a protection, but that will take care that will definitely increase the number of steps. So, what we did, we said that aldehydes are much more reactive than the ketone. So, you can control the activity of aldehyde by using stoichiometric 1 equivalent of Grignard, and in addition this ketone is sterically very much congested. So, use this isobutyl magnesium chloride 1 equivalent to get this secondary alcohol. PCC mediated oxidation, that will give you the ketone. Now, we have a diketone. Now, out of this diketone only this ketone is having alpha hydrogen here as well as here. Now, this hydrogen if it abstracted, there is no possibility you can aldol reaction takes place, only this hydrogen will be abstracted by this base, and then it can undergoes intramolecular aldol reaction followed by water elimination to give you this target molecule. So, simple starting material can be efficiently used, and then you can get access of a complex tricyclic molecule. The initial target molecule is a complex tricyclic molecule. So, we will keep continuing our discussion based on this same strategically focused point, and we will mainly talk about starting material, functional group based strategies and transformation based strategies in a combinative way. So, we will just try to analyze all the lecture slides very carefully, go through the assignments which you have given, and till then have a good time. So, goodbye.